A woman is shocked to find a skeleton buried in her backyard. She immediately realizes it could be her son who has been missing for days. Soon, Uncle Hat arrives. After testing, the dead body was confirmed to have been shot. The woman immediately concludes that her husband is the murderer of her son, because 3 days ago, she accidentally broke a vase on the table and discovered a pistol hidden inside. A bad feeling instantly came over her. Her best friend immediately took off the shell and found that 2 bullets were missing. In order to find out the truth, she and her best friend carefully took the gun to check the fingerprints. Her best friend told her to prepare herself. If her husband was indeed the murderer, how would she deal with it? The woman said if her son was killed by her husband, she would expose his crime in front of all her relatives and friends on their wedding anniversary. It turned out that not long ago, the woman came home from work and found the door of her house open. She didn't think much and walked into the house calling for her son to come out for cake. But after calling several times, she didn't see her son. She immediately called her husband's phone, but he didn't answer. She felt nervous and thought of 1,000 bad possibilities. Until 3 a.m., her husband finally came home. When she heard the door opening, her heart finally relaxed. She then took the cake and went to meet him. When her husband opened the door, she realized her son wasn't with him. Her husband said that her son had been at home and hadn't gone out. The woman said that today was her son's birthday and he had promised to take him to a restaurant. Upon hearing this, her husband was stunned and then felt dizzy. It turned out that her husband had severe amnesia. The two of them immediately went to the property management to check the surveillance. The surveillance showed that it was indeed the man who took the son to the parking lot. However, the man claimed he didn't know anything. The woman was extremely anxious and told him to think carefully. The man firmly said that he hadn't taken his son out. The woman told her husband that if something happened to her son, she wouldn't forgive him. Then she left angrily. The woman then went alone to look for her son. At this time, her husband caught up with her. Seeing that his wife hadn't slept for a day and night, she almost fainted. He comforted her, saying that the police were searching for her son. Now, his wife must rest well. Saying this, he picked up his wife and brought her back home. When his wife fell asleep, he guiltily revealed the truth that his son had left forever. Unexpectedly, his wife suddenly opened her eyes. She desperately asked about her son's whereabouts. Her husband tried to calm her down, but accidentally pushed her, causing her to hit the corner of the table. When the woman woke up again, she found it was just a nightmare. Thirsty, she asked her husband to get her a glass of water, but she found that her husband wasn't in the room. Unknowingly, her husband was burning his diary on the balcony, muttering words exactly like those in the woman's dream. This scene was seen by the woman. The woman couldn't believe it, but accidentally made some noise. She quickly hid behind the curtain and tried to stay quiet. However, her husband still heard the noise and came to check. Just as her husband was about to open the curtain, her phone rang. Her husband answered the phone and turned away. The woman saw that her husband had gone far enough, so she went to the balcony to check. She kicked over the fire pot and accidentally found a corner of the diary that hadn't been burned. Then, she took the remaining piece to her best friend. It turned out that her best friend was a journalist, and she knew a lot. Indeed, her best friend guessed some clues. She immediately called a mysterious number. The next day, the woman, who had stayed out all night, brought the torn piece of paper and screamed at her husband why he had cruelly harmed their son. She immediately mentioned some codes in the seafood market. Seeing that his wife had found some suspicious points, her husband tried to change the subject.